I've been trading for 12 years now, and I started off trading with penny stocks, and as time progressed, blew some accounts, and finally when I got the hang of penny stocks, I switched over to options. And it still took me almost a year and a half to fully figure out what trading really meant. And as I got deeper and deeper into trading and started talking with other people, I realized that most traders, including myself in the beginning phase, thought that a trading strategy or a pattern or some secret golden rule is out there that's gonna help me become the best trader out there. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over some of the 6 things that I think have helped me become a better trader, better at execution, better at managing my emotions, overall better at how to properly manage trades and the market. Now, these things will sound very simple, but trust me, once you start applying them, those small things will make a very big impact in your trading. Let's get into it. So the first and the most important thing is you only need one solid trade a day, right? That doesn't mean you only should be taking one trade or 2 trades, but one good trade that is managed properly will give you the highest and the best return rather than switching from one trade to another trade. So what I usually see is a lot of people jumping from, let's say they're in a trade, the trade is working out in their favor, but they see another setup that is working out or getting ready to take off or sell off. They switch from that trade and then they go after the second setup, which I don't understand, because if you're already in a winning trade, you're already in a trade that's working out, why would you need to close that only to go after something else? And this is where most people end up over trading. So when you start to over trade, now if you take 7 different trades and you're following that pattern where one trade's working out, you lock in 5%, you jump into the next one, you lock in 3 to 5%, and you keep doing this or you keep taking losses, that over trading habit is going to cause you to almost always either give away your profits or sit in front of the screen all day and eventually give away your profits. So my first rule is whenever I'm in a trade that's working out, I don't focus on anything else. My complete focus is on that setup, and as long as it's continuing in my favor, all I do is manage that trade by increasing the stop loss, scaling out, depending on how aggressively it's moving. Full focus is on that trade. Rather than jumping out of that, you go after the next trade, and let's say that trade now pulls back. Now, locked in the first trade with 10%, the second trade took away 5%. Now you're net green 5% on the day, when if you stayed in that first trade, you could have been up 15, 20, maybe 30%. So the moment I changed that mindset, my returns went from 10, 20% to 40, 50% on an average whenever a trade was working out. So when you're in a trade, try to give that trade your full focus. Don't try to go in multiple different trades at the same time, because that's not going to yield the best return, especially if you want to learn how to hold your winners for a long period of time. For example, are the Fed speaking that week? Is there economic data like GDP, PPI, or CPI coming out that week? Because most traders are going to be waiting for that data rather than taking trades right off the bat on Monday morning. What's the levels on VIX? And so as an options trader, I like to pay attention to VIX a lot, because when it's above a certain level, usually premiums are priced higher than normal. And then you apply that every single day as well before the market opens. See what events are happening that day. Look if there's divergence in the market. If SPY's going up, most names are going down, or SPY's chopping around and not everything is following through. That gives you the overall context of the market if you should actually take any trades or not. And this is very important, because knowing when not to trade is actually more important than knowing when you should be jumping into the trade, because most people give their profits away because they don't know when to sit out of the market. Third is your chart is going to give you the most important information, the most obvious levels. This is where you're going to have your edge. When I look at a new trader's chart, it looks like a subway map. They have so many indicators, so many lines. Your whole game plan of where you're going to enter, where your stop loss is going to be, all of that is revolved around your key levels, right? You could use supply and demand, support and resistance, structure, whatever the case is. But if you have 300 different indicators and you have 3,000 lines on your chart, how will you identify where your entry is, where your stop loss is? If you set targets, where your target is going to be, you're going to be all over the place. Try to keep it very simple. With support and resistance, I start off with higher time frame and work my way down to the 15-minute time frame, and I try to limit how many lines I'm adding, and I only go after the obvious levels. I don't go after levels that I have to force to find, because if that level is important, it will eventually show up if it's testing multiple times. In terms of indicators, I also keep it very simple. I have 50 and 200 SMA and 21 EMA EMA on the daily and the hourly. 15, 5, and 1 has 5 and 9 EMA, and the 1 minute has the VWAP. That's it. Usually on the 5-minute time frame, I keep that chart very, very clean because all of my levels are shown on a longer time frame, because 5-minute is the chart that I'm looking at for my entry point. That is my entry chart. So I try to keep it as clean as possible. So if I know a level is coming up on the 15-minute time frame, it's very easy to remember that, right? Rather than drawing multiple lines on a smaller time frame like the 1 minute or 5 minute, which is gonna overcrowd your longer time frame, you keep it simple, leave your levels on a longer time frame, and just kind of take a look when it's time to enter and where you're gonna be entering. So those obvious levels are gonna give you an edge, because around those obvious levels is where you can pay attention to order flow, like who's strong buyers, sellers, is there absorption happening, is there exhaustion happening? All of those things are gonna give you context if you should stay in the trade or it's time to close that trade out. Fourth is focus on building cushion. A lot of people don't focus on this. They just go in with the same mindset every single day. What I like to do is, if I know or if I have a feeling that by the end of the week the market is going to get better, or there's going to be choppy price action at the beginning of the week because we might have FOMC or some other major event, my first couple of trades each day from Monday to Wednesday are going to be focused towards building a cushion. I'm not going to try to hit home runs. I'm not going to try to take risky trades. I'm not going to try to do 0DT as my first trade. My main focus is going to be, how can I have a little bit of cushion building each day so that if market does get better after that main event, let's say FOMC on Wednesday or GDP or PPI numbers come out, after that market should give a little bit of cleaner price action. I want to be able to take full advantage of that. And the only way mentally I can do that is if I have cushion that, hey, if I lose that, that's my profit. It's not going out of my actual account. So once I have cushion, Thursdays and Fridays, I try to go after 0DTs, which if you're familiar with options, you know the potential they have. 5 minutes, you can be up 100% or you can be down 40, 50%. So in order to trade those properly, you need to have some sort of a cushion leading into Thursdays and Fridays. Now we do have 0DT 3 times a week for most names, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I try to avoid trying to take 0DT midweek. Sometimes I do if I have a good cushion, but most of the time I wait until Fridays. So this fifth thing is something that has helped me improve my trading a lot, because I used to take a lot of opening drives, but now when I see that there's a lot of divergence happening pre-market, I tend to wait the first 15 to 30 minutes. And if the first 15 minutes market is very choppy, there's a lot of divergence, there's no clean follow through in either direction, then I tell myself, all right, now I'm going to wait another 15 minutes, which is after 10 a.m. when I'll take my first trade. Just simply doing that has helped me achieve a much higher win rate. Now, most people will tell you win rate doesn't matter. Yes, at a certain point in your trading career, it's not going to impact that much, but I think a win rate is a definition of how well can you identify winning trades or good trades. So if you have a 30% win rate, that means 30% of the trades that you're finding are good. The other 70% are terrible stock selection, right? So you definitely have to have at least a 50 to 60% win rate in order to achieve or say with confidence that you find high performing stocks. So the first 15 to 30 minutes is going to give you that context of the market, what's happening. Too choppy, you wait, you set the range, and you wait for that range to break. The sixth, and this is very important, a lot of people don't talk about it, the market is always changing, right? Most people think that, hey, if I get to a certain level of 5 years of trading, 7 years of trading, or 10 years of trading, it'll be much easier for me to trade. The reality is, market is always changing, it's constantly changing from, being choppy to upside or downside, or being clean versus choppy, and it's going back and forth. Our job as a trader is to be able to identify that and adapt to that, and then apply that into our strategies, whatever strategy you have. If you're not constantly changing with the market as the market is changing, you're gonna get left behind. So if, let's say, you're trading the same way as you were 8 months ago or a year ago, and that strategy, which was yielding you 90%, is now giving you 30%, at that point you have to understand it's not the strategy, it's just that strategy that you were using 9 months ago or a year ago was working well for that particular market. Now the market has shifted. Now maybe you need to change where your entry is. Maybe you're entering the first 5 minutes, now change it to 15 minutes. Making that small change just by looking at what's happening in the market overall and learning to adapt to it is going to make your 30% go right back up to 70 to 80%. But you have to be able to know what to look for, and how to properly adapt. So one of the biggest red flags that you should see, or is a tell that your strategy is not working, is obviously when your win rate or your stats start to change against you, right? That's when you should start paying attention to what you're doing wrong. Look at where your entries are, where your stop losses have been. What is the difference between the market now versus 1 month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago? And then start making changes on your chart. For example, let's say you got in at the 5-minute, look at the chart and see if you had waited for a certain confirmation of, rather than waiting for the 5-minute, you waited for the 15 minutes. What's the difference? Does that make a big difference across the 10 or 15 trades that you've taken? If the answer is yes, that's the change you need to make. And once you make that change, now 6-7 months later, you might have to either go back to your old strategy, or you might need to make new changes to the current strategy to adapt to the current market. And that's something that's never going to change. Every few months, 6 months, 8 months, a year, sometimes even after 2 months, market changes, market shifts. And as a trader, it's your job to change with the market. So these 6 things are something that even now, after trading for 12 years, I still pay attention to, especially the last part, because that helps me understand if the market is changing, I need to adapt to the market. Now, July was one of my biggest months for this year, only because in June, we had such terrible, I wouldn't say price action, but from my end, it was just not the best execution. I learned from it and I tripled my profits in the month of July. Simply just adapting to the market and making small changes to my strategy. I hope this video was helpful. Comment below what other topics I should cover, and I'll see you guys in the next video.